Hi everybody, it's Diane. I am here to start working on some music collages. I'm going to use these bits of cut apart papers from the DCWV performance stack. Let me change that a little. I showed the journals that I'll be working on in a previous video, yesterday's video, and I thought today I need to just start working on some ephemera out of these pieces. So I decided I would take some of these cards. The journals are a little on the large side, so I thought I could use some of these bigger cards and even some of the smaller ones and maybe do some collages. So I have a variety of papers and scraps and crocheted and embroidered bits and some fabrics and laces, velvet ribbon. I have all kinds of stuff over here. It's going to get messy because I'm in a very small space, but I wanted to be by my sewing machine in case I wanted to sew something. So let's just get started. I think I need scrap paper down here. One thing I didn't bring over was my ink. So let me grab that. Okay, so I have my vintage photo ink pad here if I need it, which I probably will. So let me start with one of these. These I got from work. I thought these were kind of fun and unique cards. They go behind the greeting cards, but I like the size. Most of these are bigger, but these were a special line of cards that we had. So of course I'm going to cover it, but I just like the shape of it. So I'm going to start by inking the edges. There's been a very good response to just the very first video, introductory video to this series on the music journals. In fact, they've both been claimed. They were claimed really quickly after that video went up today. I don't like to reserve all of my journals, but I don't mind doing some now. For a while I wasn't reserving any. But I listed the last two journals, the tapestry ones. They weren't reserved for anybody. I just listed them yesterday and they sold. Thank you very much. So I felt okay with reserving both of these as long as they're okay with the price. I messaged them and let them know the price. One of them responded that she's fine with the price. In fact, if someone else hadn't already asked for the other one, she would have asked for both of them to be reserved, but someone else already asked for the other one. So they're both reserved, and like I said, I will be doing more music journals sometime because I have way too much ephemera to just limit myself to 2 journals. But I just don't like to do too many of the same theme at the same time. I guess I get bored easily. Alright, so we have this all inked up. Now I want to pick a focal point out of these cards. Maybe I'll put a quote and a focal point on there. We'll see. See what we come up with. I like that treble clef. Just says music. Okay. Let's just go with what we have here. And we'll pick something. Love that treble clef. Get these out of my way. I only need one at a time. Okay, now I'm going to cover up the background. I thought this was a blue with gold flecks, but it's a dark green. That's okay. We'll use it. Should have brought my water over to wet my mulberry paper. But that worked. Let's cover that up with that. I thought I'd use some of the more fragile music paper that I have because I'm going to glue it down. Wouldn't work to use these as a page. This is my little tiny book of Mozart music. Have these bits of embroidered fabric. Maybe that's a little bigger than I want. After all that, I could cut it. I know I've got some smaller piece. Oh, here's some. Let's just do one of these. Ooh, that's not. Can't tear that one. I'm going to put a little blue in the background. This is a part of that big bundle of handmade paper that I got at the Boy Scout rummage sale last year. Boy, I wish I could go to one of those again. But they change their venue every year. I don't know where they'll be next, or even when it was. Wouldn't even know what time of year to look for it. Because I'll have to go back through my videos and see when I posted my video of that amazing rummage sale. They probably collect for it all year, I don't know, but there were tons and tons and tons of donations benefiting the Boy Scouts. It was amazing. And I only saw a fraction of what was there. But when I went to it, the very first section that I saw right by the door was the crafty section, and so I got lots of cool stuff. And then I spent a lot of time there, and it was so packed and crowded in there. And I went right to where the books were. They were in a separate room, and that was really crowded. And by the time I was done in there, I had to go. I didn't have any more room in my hands. I had bags with me, and my bags were full. There were too many people. I just had to go. But I was very happy with what I got. So I'd love to go to that again. Anyway, all of that to say, one of the things I got was a big package of handmade paper in different colors and textures, and I was really happy to find that. I think I'll find a place for a little snippet of filet crochet. I just feel like something is needed there. So I'm going to get my binder that has circles in it. Oh, it's not a binder. It's in my case. I have this case that has some ephemera in it. There's a little box of circles and itty bitties. Let's take those out too. Like that one. That one's just stamped on coffee dyed tracing paper. Maybe that color up there is a little bit too stark being, or just too dark being up there all by itself. Put a piece of this more neutral paper up there. That looks better. Now all I have to do is start gluing. Taking a good look at it before I take everything off. Behind me, I've got my little cart, my rolling cart. It's got a book that I can use to protect the surface from the glue stick. So I'm just going to be turning around and adding glue to my items. I don't have room for everything over here. I laid this down on the paper where there was already some glue, and this is fragile. There, we got it. These are just a little bit heavier, so I'm just going to use this glue to make sure that it holds it well. Well, this I can use a glue stick for. There was a little tiny petal like this in the paper, and it stuck to my paper and stayed there. Oh well. I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac, my 3-in-1 glue for these pieces. I'm making 2 journals, so I need... Oh, there goes my phone. Okay. That will go to voicemail. I apologize. My phone is on the other side of the room, or on the other end of this table. How do you like my my ringtone? Oh, there. Sorry about that. All right. So as I was saying, I'm making 2 journals, so I need to have enough cards for both journals. I like that. Let's do another one. We'll do another one with this kind of a card, and then we'll do one with one of the index tabs. This one is a different shape, skinnier. I brought home a few of the envelopes from these too. Once we don't use the cards anymore, the envelopes just, we either save them for when we need them. Because I don't know who takes all the envelopes, but we always have to replace envelopes. But these envelopes are not the same shape as our standard cards. So I brought a few home. I didn't go crazy, but they're really cute. Really cute shapes. You know, I'm trying not to have too much stuff. So in the past, I would have brought a stack of them home, but I just brought some home. Same with these cards. So I'm glad I'm finally actually using some of these cards. Is there a piano? Maybe I already used it. Oh, there's a piano. And a quote. Neither a lofty degree of intelligence nor imagination, nor both together, go to the making of genius. Love, love, love. That is the soul of genius. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. Speaking of genius, he was a genius. One of my favorites. I think sometimes Beethoven is my favorite and sometimes Mozart is my favorite, but mostly it's Mozart. My dad agrees. He actually said recently, I don't know which one's my favorite. They both are. This is coffee dyed tracing paper, a scrap of it. Of course you can see the words right through it, so we'll have to have something else on it too. Love this piece of blue tatting. I don't know if I'll leave it there, but we'll try it out. Take a piece of doily. Well, we've got the blue tatting, so let's use some more blue paper. I think this one's different. It's got some petals in it, if they'll stay. You can see where the petals were and fell off. They're not embedded very well, are they? So one of the covers of the books is blue and the other one is burgundy. I have more blue things than I do burgundy. But the papers also have gold, some browns. There's just lots of blue on the Stamperia paper. Blues and browns. And the DCWV paper has a lot of gold and brown. Is that enough stuff? Oops. Sorry. Maybe just put a little snippet of blue over here. Don't want to cover up the piano or the quote. I don't know. Maybe not. Oh, I brought this velvet ribbon over. Got it out of my drawer. This is vintage velvet ribbon. What do you think? Too much? Maybe just a smaller piece of this? Or maybe none of that and something white. Or off-white. I think I like that. As you know, I don't like to spend too much time dilly-dallying around. I'm going to grab my little scissors to round some corners. I'll try doing it with this smaller, this does a smaller corner. Let me see if it does it okay. Okay. Oh, I got all those little corners on there. I'm going to ink this blue. And tracing paper goes first. this, and this is quite heavy, so I'm going to use this. It's heavy and a little bit textured. This doesn't need to be up there because that word is covered now. Let's just try, see what else we can do here. Maybe this could go over here. No, because I wanted some blue over on this side. I was thinking maybe of stamping some music over there. And I think I have a background stamp that has music on it. I do. I thought I had gotten out all of my music stamps, but I forgot about my music background stamp. I've had this for a really long time. I think it's from Stampington and Company. It won't stamp perfectly on that because it is, like I said, slightly textured. It didn't stamp at all on that. It stamped on that. Well, let's just try this little stamp. This one isn't as old as that one. I think that one is just not working like it used to. That stamped. I'm stamping with black, but it almost looks like I'm stamping with navy on that blue, and I like that. Okay, let's try this again. Hope you don't mind me changing my mind and experimenting with stuff. I like that, having that over there. This ribbon obviously wants to curl, but I'll glue it down and it won't curl anymore. There, I think that looks good. It was just so empty over there, but I like everything kind of connected somehow, all my elements connected and not just off by themselves, you know? Okay, so I'm gonna go with this. It's taking a long time to do 2 cards. Okay, and then this. And then this. I hope this doesn't seep through this beautiful velvet ribbon. I'm going to rub some of it. I'm going to rub it so it spreads out and isn't gloppy on it. And that should help keep it from seeping through. I love that velvet ribbon. So soft. My friend sent it to me. I've been hoarding it, but I did use it. I've used it in several journals, but I use it sparingly. I have it in different colors, but I used a lot of the pinks and I don't remember what else, but in my chocolate journal. I wanted to make sure I had some in one of my journals to keep. And because this is going to be glued on top of the doily, I'm going to use the Fabri-Tac again. Okay, that is having trouble sticking down. So we have 2 cards done. Now we'll do one of the index file cards. I have these really dark ones. I think I'll save those for recipe cards instead of trying to cover up those words. I can do this M for music. And I was going to do P for piano, but there's no P. Must have already used that one. Well, we're just going to do one right now anyway. So I think I'm going to try to add some burgundy colors to this one. And because it can go this way, I can use one of these quotes. And just one of those. I've got my burgundy mulberry paper here. I've got some pink doily. And I've got neutral colors and music, of course. I don't want all color, just a little. So let's start with a piece of music. I don't know if I want it to go this way or to be this way, but we'll just experiment. M is for moderato, too. I'm going to look for a piece of lace. No, it looks like 2 columns there. Let's see what this would look like. The lace on top of the burgundy. I like that. I think it goes that way. Gotta have something down here. Maybe I should just tear a bigger piece of music. So these 2 pieces aren't connected to each other, but there are things connecting them to each other. I think it needs just something up here. This has a little bit of gold embossing on it. I tried embossing a stamped image on this. Maybe just that. And I know this is not connected to anything. It's just a little extra bonus. I think it's okay. Just make it a little smaller. Okay, I guess I'm happy with that. I'm gonna ink my card. This is a nice feeling card. Feels smoother than most index cards or manila. This will be faster and less noisy. And the backs are blank, so they can be journaled on. So obviously the big piece of music goes first, and then the mulberry paper and the lace. I'm gonna get a fresh sheet of glue paper and start gluing. I wonder, I think I might want to ink a little bit on the music. Just a little bit. Just put a little Fabri-Tac on here. Look at the staining on that. This was a really old piece of lace. Okay. And now the doily. So these could be journal cards or pockets. They might end up being pockets, but I inked on the backs anyway, just in case I decide to use it as a card to tuck into a pocket or to clip onto a page. I didn't round the corners of the quote. I think I'm just going to use my scissors. Cuts off all the black, and sometimes that black outline is kind of nice. If I use the corner rounder, it cuts off all the black on the corners. I think this needs a little something to go with it, so it's not just hanging out by itself. It needs to be connected to something, even if it's not connected to the main grouping. Doesn't even show up. I have a wide pink velvet ribbon. Don't like that. Believe me, I won't throw that piece of velvet away. Well, I just don't know what to put there. I'm looking. I'm still looking. That's a little bit that came off of a crocheted doily. I think we'll go with that. I save all my little bits of this kind of stuff. Okay, so we've been going for 45 minutes. This is not sticking. And I made 3 cards, 15 minutes a card. And I probably want 6 cards altogether, so I can have one in each signature. So I'm halfway done. know if I want to trim this off, so I'm not going to do it yet. Alright, so I'll do another one on one of these cards, and then what else do I have? Maybe I'll just do one on one of these small cards. These are old. No, maybe they're coffee dyed. I think these are coffee dyed. Okay, so let's see what we did today. We did this one first. I might stamp a word up here. I think I probably will. And I might stamp a word on this one too. Or on this one I'd probably have to stamp it on a piece of paper and cut it out and glue it on. And then we did this one. Okay, well, thanks for keeping me company while I started work on these. I didn't have to sit at my sewing machine because I didn't do any sewing, but it's all over here now, so I'll finish my 6 cards at some point. Probably not till tomorrow, and probably not on video. Alright, I guess that's it, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.